Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. This one is for Festive Friday's National Lucky Penny Day. So we had to use 3 of the following things on this page. Copper, green, money, a gift card holder, gift packaging, good luck sentiment, congrats sentiment, stripes, circles, or an embossing folder. So right away, I decided just to knock all of these out with my background. So I'm using this green striped paper as my background and right away pulling in some of that vellum that has the copper foiling on it. So right away I already have copper, green, and stripes. So I'm covered. So now I'm just going to put the page together. I really wanted to use another chunk of this butterfly and I wanted to see how it looked over a pattern paper. The last time I used this vellum, I just put it over some white, made it look really good. You can really see all the colors pop, but putting it on this dark page, it really makes the foil pop. Not so much the color of the butterflies, but I thought it was a nice different way to use it by putting it over a pattern paper. I really like being able to see the stripes and the varying colors coming through the vellum, especially because there's this multicolored pink stripe going through the background, and I really wanted to accentuate that. So my plan is to pretty much build my photo layers over this piece of vellum and have that be the main design portion. I really wanted this photo to lay right over that pink stripe that's on the background, so your eye just follows it across the page. So I did cut my 4x6 into a square. This is another page where Billy and I were watching my mom play tennis. Billy loves watching playing tennis. So yeah, that's pretty much what the photo is. I just wanted to cut it into a square so it'd be easier to mat on these scraps. You can see I just matted it in a couple 6x8 pattern papers, and I'm trying to use one of the cut apart pieces as well. I haven't used this pink and maroon floral really this month, so I wanted to get a piece of it used up, especially because there is some of that pink and maroon in the butterflies. So now I'm just trying to figure out how much I want of that to show. And there is a copper sentiment on that cut apart as well, so I will end up gutting that card so I have that to use on a future layout if I want it. And then you can see here me pulling in a few horizontal scraps, and I fussy cut that globe to get that on here as well. I'm just going to gut the sentiment really quick before I glue it all down. But this is pretty much the paper layers. I just wanted to get more of these scraps used up. We're getting towards the end of the month, and I definitely want to get some of these bits and pieces used, especially the ones that are patterns that I haven't used yet. So this is where my photo layer base is coming together. I'm going to end up gutting a piece of that pink paper as well to use on the next layout, which you guys will see tomorrow. But yeah, I'm just trying to get scraps used up here. I didn't want to cover up too much of this vellum, but I wanted there to be enough interest around the photo because I'm planning to keep the open part of the page on the top pretty much the same. I'll add my title and a little bit of embellishment up there, but I really wanted it to be heavy down here on the bottom of the page where this pink strip runs across the background. So now that I've got everything gutted, I'm going to go ahead and glue everything down. Really being frugal. You will see what I end up doing with this butterfly paper because I'm not going to cover up that much of this pink butterfly. So you'll see in a minute how I kind of go about gutting that. But for right now, I'm just going to get the photo layers around the photo glued together. So that's all one piece. And then I will worry about the butterflies. It's convenient when it's vellum to gut, and I will show you why. After I get this positioned, I will flip this over, and you can see through the vellum where the paper layers are going to cover. And I'm just going to go with my pencil and trace pretty much where my paper layers are, and then gut all of that. So it looks labor intensive. It's really not. I just traced everything that was going to be covered, and now I'm just going to gut everywhere. So it just takes me a second to do that, but I'm happy I have that butterfly vellum saved for a future layout because I only bought one of those. And if you guys saw the kit share, I still have half of both paper pads, the 12x12 and the 6x8 to use. So I'm trying to gut as much of this vellum as I can to have for when I use the second half of this collection. But you can see there's a pretty big chunk I was able to save that's going to be covered by all of those layers. And I'm just going to glue that whole mess together and then glue it to the background paper. So that just takes me a second too. But after this, I still need to do a title. I still want a little bit of embellishment, but it's pretty much coming together. I think my layers need a little something extra, so I do end up going back to that leafy paper, but the smaller version, the 6x8 version, and fussy cutting a few of those leaves to have tucking out from around the photo, and I think that looks really cool. It looks too plain right now, and it's very bottom heavy with all of the layers, so I felt like it needed something up around the top of the photo. But I know I want to get this globe on here. I'm just not quite sure what I want it to sit on. I was thinking about using that frame, but it was too distracting seeing all the layers through the frame, so I wanted something a little bit more solid. So I do go to my pack of die cuts that Jennifer sent me and pulled out this little white tag. I thought maybe that could be a cool detail on the top of the page, but then I was like, well, I'm wanting something to sit behind the globe, and I thought the proportion and the size of that was just perfect, so that's what I end up doing instead. So I'm just going to trim it down a little bit so it's not sticking out so far. And then you saw I popped that globe up on some foam, so there was some dimension, but I think that looks really nice. I like that little pop of white. And now that I have the white down there, I do go in and decide to add a white doily around the corner of that photo where I was thinking about putting the tag. That way there's white on either side and that's balanced, but it also has another layery detail up there where I was thinking about putting the tag. So that just takes me a second. I did want to mess with the twine a little bit. The twine that comes on this tag is really long and skinny, so I felt like I just wanted to double it up a little bit so it was shorter and thicker. So that's what I was doing just then. But there you can see the doily. I decided to cut just half of one because it was going to be covered anyways, and tuck that behind there. All these layers are very well glued down, so I'm trying to pry things up without tearing anything. But here's that leafy paper I was talking about. I'm just going to fussy cut a few of these leaves and have them layered up around the rest of the photo that I feel like is still a little empty. But I think that's really cool. I really like when there's floral designs like this that are fussy cuttable. Is that a word? I just think it adds such a cool touch. And I've done that a couple times with this pattern paper in the 12x12 size and now in the smaller size. And I think that's such a cool thing to add. I love when pattern papers give you the opportunity to use them as embellishments like this. So yeah, I think that looks really cool. Now that corner looks good to me, but I'm feeling like now the doily side is a little empty, so I fussy cut another one of those leaves so that could be on the other side. And now I think those leaves are balanced as well, which helps. But I feel like that beefed up the layering enough to where now it looks complete. I still need to do my title. I consolidated all the letters onto one sheet here, and I already had Lucky spelt out, so I figured I could use a 0 as an O to spell out Lucky Boy, just because Billy loves tennis so much. And at this point, I mean, this was 2012, but we were going once to twice a week watching my mom play tennis, so he just had it made. So I thought that was an appropriate sentiment. I could spell it out, so that thicker sheet is almost dead. So I'm glad I got a 2-word title out of it. But I just decided to put the copper puffy plus signs as embellishment and one of these pink butterflies as embellishment as well, just to pull that vellum up there. But here are the close-ups. That's it, you guys. So if you guys want to play along, I will link everything in the description. If you play along, use the hashtag FF0058 for this challenge. I'll link everything in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.